Hello, this is Andre Battles of How and Why, the Bible Answer Guy, with another devotional from our book, Jesus Calling, for April the 22nd. Are you listening? And if I had to answer that question honestly, I'd have to say no, at least for certain seasons and periods of my life, because I know I wasn't listening all the time. In fact, if I was listening to anything, it was the call of my flesh, the call of the wild, if you will. And I listened to that real good, right? Well, if we're honest, then most of us have the same testimony. We weren't listening to the voice of God because the call of the wild, the call of our flesh was so loud. Look, you are not at a disadvantage because the reality is all of us come into this world in that manner. All of us come into this world feeling more of an inclination towards the call of the wild, towards our flesh. And that's just the reality. So when I ask you, are you listening? That could be like a double-edged question because of course you're listening, but the real question is, what are you listening to? Or what are you listening for, right? For the next party that's going to be posted on social media by your friends? Is that what you're listening for? Are you paying attention and listening to the new hip-hop music that's been produced and released into the society? Are you looking for that new amusement park whose opening date has not yet been released, but you're listening and looking forward to that day? What are you listening to? What are you listening to? And are you listening? What are you listening to? Because obviously we're listening to something, but what is it? Yes, I want you to know that Christ has come and he has paid the ultimate price so that we can listen now or tune into his radio frequency. We have been listening to everything else, the call of the flesh, our emotions, our feelings. We've been listening to all those things. And I know that that is the natural thing to do. So I'm not faulting you for being inclined towards the natural. My fault, if there's any blame to cast, is on those of us who are just comfortable with the fact that we are carnal, flesh-like, and insubordinate, and that we don't want to do nothing about it. That's where my issue lies. So now the question again is not what you're listening to. Now the question isn't so much, are you listening? Now the question is, what will you tune into now? Will you tune into the voice of God? Will you listen to what he has to say? Will you encourage the spiritual muscles to grow? Or will you be comfortable with your flesh-like muscles being the dominant individual in this particular fight? I'm not content with that. I want to be like Jesus. So I'm here to surrender to his voice and his way. But once again, this is Andre Battles with another devotional from our book, Jesus Calling. And I want to thank you for typing amen in the comment section, because with your amen, you have enabled me to share with you the information to our prayer line. We meet every morning, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we would love to see you there. So just comment amen and I will get that information to you. And by God's grace, I'll see you right here tomorrow.